Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Paul Scholes reckons Ruben Amorim would like to sign Martin Zubimendi after his comments about the Real Sociedad midfielder in midweek. Zubimendi, 26, has been linked with a whole host of top Premier League teams over the last 12 months and came close to joining Liverpool in the summer before deciding against the move at the 11th hour. It emerged back in January that Arsenal is likely to be Zubimendi's destination in the summer, with a deal close. And Scholes thinks Manchester United would also like to sign the playmaker after listening to Amorim wax lyrical about the Spain international on Thursday night. He's a top player that can change a team, especially in that position, Amorim said before United's Europa League win. He's one position that can read and block transitions. He's also the first guy in the build-up. I know the player really well. Everybody knows he's a top player that can change the team. After listening to Amorim on TNT Sports, Scholes speculated. From that interview, the manager quite likes Zubimendi. If we sell 3 or 4 players, we might be able to buy him, but tonight's a big night. Zubimendi is known to have a £51 million release clause in his contract. United are likely to be in the market for midfielders with question marks over the future of Christian Eriksen and Casemiro, but their financial situation is bleak. Amorim has broadly worked with the squad he inherited from Erik Ten Hag, with Patrick Dorgu and Aiden Heaven, the only senior signings made by the club in January. The club's chief executive, Omar Barada, insisted Amorim would have cash to spend this summer before Thursday night's Europa League success, even if they fail to qualify for Europe altogether. We speak to Ruben Amorim very frequently. Ruben has a good relationship with Jason Wilcox. They both share the vision of how they want to see the team playing. He continued, "It is about planning properly for the summer transfer window and having a clear idea of what players we want to bring in. We're making some big efforts to get us in the best financial position. Even if we're outside of Europe, I think we will be in a position to invest in the squad. Our ambition is to win tonight and win the Europa League and be in the Champions League, which is where I think we belong. In football, small decisions can have big ramifications. Superstition is as much a part of the game as half-time pies, but it doesn't always lead to a consensus, especially at Manchester United." Not for the first time this season, Ruben Amorim and Marcus Rashford find themselves on opposite sides of the aisle this time, over which end of Old Trafford United should attack first if they win the coin toss. According to The Athletic, Amorim has instructed his players to shoot towards the Stretford end, typically United's loudest stand in the first half. This is because statistics show they tend to score less, concede more, and pick up fewer points when attacking the Stretford end after the break. Rashford, however, has spoken in the past about the impact facing the Stretford end has when you are suffering, arguing that the roar of the crowd gives players an extra boost, especially when they're running on fumes. "It is an amazing feeling. Second half, going and playing towards that Stretford end," he told MUTV in 2023. "When you are tired and you are in pain and you are suffering, you want to be going towards that Stretford end. 100%. With United staring down the barrel of their worst domestic finish to a season in over 50 years, Amorim seems prepared to try anything to reverse their fortunes. While choosing to attack the Stretford end first might feel counterintuitive, the statistics paint an undeniable picture. Since the 2016-17 season, United have averaged 2.3 points per game when facing the Stretford end first, compared to 1.8 when doing so in the second half. The difference extends to goals as well. The club have scored 2.2 per game when attacking the Stretford end first, versus 1.7 when attacking it after the break. Defensively, the trend continues, with United conceding just 0.8 goals per game in the first half Stretford end setup, compared to 1.1 when playing that way in the second half. Amorim also believes that attacking the Stretford end first could help United's habit of starting matches slowly. Of their 28 Premier League games this season, the Red Devils have conceded first in 17 of them and have gone on to lose 12. They've also been beaten 7 times at home already, this term more than the club have ever suffered in a single Premier League season before. Rashford, who fell out with Amorim after being left out the Manchester derby in December, left United to join Aston Villa in January, temporarily ending his 20-year association with the club. He's made a bright start to life at Villa Park, with 4 assists in his first 9 matches, though is yet to get on the score sheet. His improved form, however, has earned him an England recall for Thomas Tuchel's squad this month. Villa face United at Old Trafford on the final day of the season, though Rashford will play no part in the fixture as he'll be ineligible to feature due to the terms of his loan agreement. On Wednesday, the 27-year-old helped his new club book their place in the Champions League quarter-finals following their 3-0 win over Club Brugge, which confirmed a 6-1 aggregate victory. They will face PSG in the last 8, and victory there would set up a semi-final clash with either Arsenal or Real Madrid. United, meanwhile, trounced Real Sociedad 4-1 on Thursday to seal a 5-2 aggregate win, as well as passage to the Europa League quarters, where they'll face Lyon. Ruben Amorim could be left to rue his decision not to swiftly raid former club Sporting CP after Chelsea agreed a deal to sign highly rated talent Giovanni Quenda, who was on Manchester United's radar. Reports of Enzo Maresca's side agreeing a transfer in principle for the Portuguese star broke on Thursday night and came as a shock, considering the reported interest United had in the 17-year-old. Quenda, who can play as a winger and wing-back, made his professional debut earlier this season under Amorim, before the head coach left his native country to replace Erik ten Hag at Old Trafford. Upon his arrival in Manchester, the 40-year-old promised not to raid his former club, given the likes of Victor Gyökeres and Goncalo Ignacio have routinely been linked with moves away from Sporting. He said, "I will not sign any Sporting player at Man United in January. Then, what happens in the summer? I don't know. Sporting players are good players. We will see what happens." With Amorim staying true to his promise and opting to sign Patrick Dorgu and Aidan Heaven in the January transfer window, the Blues swooped in and captured Quenda's signature with a fee of £40 million, reportedly agreed, although he is not set to join the club until 2026. As the teenager is now off the market, Amorim has been left with a real dilemma in who will be his long-term right wing-back, which has been a problem position for United this season. While he did welcome 2 new rivals in January, the United boss admitted that it was a risk not to bring in more players suited to his 3-4-3 system amid their league struggles. "I know when I chose this profession that you have the risk of results, and I knew when I came here. I looked at the schedule, I looked at the team. It was my decision, and changing everything in the middle of the season without new signings is a danger for a coach," he said earlier this year. "But I have a clear idea of what I want to do, and I take these risks because in the end, it's going to pay off. But I'm not naive. I said that many times. This is a sport of results, and we are in a difficult situation." While United sit down in 14th in the Premier League table, they've advanced to the quarter-finals of the Europa League after a 4-1 win over Real Sociedad on Thursday. A Bruno Fernandes hat-trick and stoppage-time goal from Diogo Dalot made sure of United's 5-2 win on aggregate as they now take on Lyon for a spot in the Final Four. In the meantime, United reunite with Ruud van Nistelrooy as they face his troubled Leicester City on Sunday before the international break. Ruben Amorim again saluted Bruno Fernandes and said he is desperate to help his perfect captain win trophies. Fernandes fired Manchester United into the last 8 with another skipper's performance at Old Trafford. After going behind to an early Mikel Oyarzabal spot kick, Fernandes calmly rolled in 2 penalties and struck a superb third as Amorim's side saw off Real Sociedad to set up a quarter-final clash with Lyon. The win, capped by a Diogo Dalot strike in added time, means United remain the only unbeaten team in European competition and keeps their troubled season alive. And Amorim declared Bruno is the perfect captain for our team, and we need to help him win titles because he deserves them. When we need him, he is always there. The 4-1 win was the best performance under Amorim, and the United manager was clearly delighted, saying, "We did a very complete exhibition. We feel we can go to the next stage. We feel we can go to another stage." This game was good for the club, for the players, and for the fans. I felt that we were ready for this kind of game. I felt the team was full of confidence. We showed a bit of the future. United were helped by referee Benoit Bastien, who sent off John Aramburu just after the hour mark, with the home side 2-1 up, for denying Patrick Dorgu a goal-scoring opportunity only 15 yards inside the Real Sociedad half. But they did not need any help as they put up their best display for some time. Fernandes, though, was not getting carried away, saying, "We have a long way to go, but we are confident if we focus on every game and have the right mentality, we can win games. The progress will be seen if we get results." At this club, it is all about results. There was an unusual incident towards the end of the game when United appeared to be given a third penalty, only for Dorgu to tell the referee he had not been fouled. Amorim smiled. It is the right thing to do, so I'm quite proud of him, but I cannot say if it is 0-0 or losing. I have the same response.